Hello, hi everyone. So today we are back for a live session. I hope you all are having fun at home, enjoying your time with your family and your work. So, hi Sanj, thanks for joining. So, our special guest today, whom we've invited, is Bharat Gupta. He is an amazing celebrity stylist. We have shared his details with y'all, so y'all can go and have a look at his page. So, Bharat is here. He'll be joining us any minute, and then we can start with the discussion and the conversation. And I'm sure y'all are going to get to learn a lot of things about fashion styling and the insights of the industry. So I'm just letting in Bharat and we can have a conversation started. Yeah, so Bharat will be with us any minute. So yes, I'm just waiting for Bharat. Yeah.
Hi,
Hi Bharat. How are you?
very well. How are you?
Great, I'm also good. So we are so happy to have you, Bharat, because the students have been really looking forward to this interaction with you. I'm sure till
Uh,
now a lot of students might have, looked at your profile and they have got a little glimpse of your work. So
yes,
we'd
so in
really
fact,
like to
I've got a
welcome.
few. Thank you so much, and I'm
Yeah.
glad that we've connected for this live, and I've got
Yes.
DMs from some students as well, and I've styled a show for INSD during Times Fashion Week, so
Yes.
we've been associated for almost a year now, and it's given us time. The lockdown has taught us a lot of things. So,
Yes.
just
Yes.
connecting with students and fashion aspirants digitally is also a format that, we're going to look at more relevant and more actively now.
Yeah. So, Bharat, welcome on the behalf of INIST. So, I would
Thank you.
like you to introduce yourself and, talk a little about yourself so everybody gets to know you more personally.
Hi guys. I am Bharat Gupta. I am a stylist, fashion consultant, and I scout and train models as well. I started out in the field of public relations and celebrity management. I did that for about 7 to 8 years, and then I switched over to fashion.
Yeah.
I don't think fashion, whenever you do something which is creative, it's something that, you're passionate about from a very young age. And it's
Yeah.
not something that you're forced into. It's not something that you're told to do. And
Right.
it's something that, we're grown into, we're born into. So, my family is very fashion forward in
Yeah.
that sense, my mom, my sister, my dad. So, I've
Okay.
always been very interested. Like I probably knew how to tie a sari at the age of 9 or 10.
Oh, wow. That's
So,
interesting.
so from that age, I've been interested, and then I got into fashion.
Yeah.
My bend was more towards fashion shows, towards fashion weeks,
Yeah.
towards commercial styling for television commercials, digital ads, print campaigns, and a
Yeah.
lot of my works on my profile, so you guys can check it out as well.
Great. As whenever we talk about fashion styling, we always tell our
Right,
students, it's like playing dress up with yourself, you
right,
know? Yeah.
right.
So, Bharat, a little bit about how did you really get into the styling industry?
So
From the beginning, if you give us a little
okay,
story.
so because I was doing PR, when I switched over, what I did was
Yeah.
I first started working with designers for their
Yeah.
PR and social media. So that way, what happened was that I already had an expertise in something, and then I had a learning curve towards something else. So, working so closely with them, working with their karigars and, with their in-house designers,
Yeah.
observing them, learning the basis of that. Um, that gave me like a good 6 months to 9 months period of gaining that knowledge. I also had a very, it's very important to
Yeah.
understand. We'll probably get to that at a later stage.
Yeah.
Understanding the differences between designing and styling. And at
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
age, at that time of my career, I understood that I am more bent towards styling.
Styling.
And
Yeah.
as luck would have it, when I just started off, and then when people started getting to know that I'm in styling now, I got approached by a production house for a
Wow.
print campaign, and this was
Okay.
literally my first styling job that I was doing. And they said,
Wow.
it has rappers, it has singers, it has graffiti artists, it's for cities, and you're new, you're excited, all these things excite you. So I
Yeah.
said yes to it. And I
Wow.
literally had about 2 to 3 days to sort of figure everything out. And the commercial came out. It came out in the form of a
Okay.
music video, and
Wow.
it did really well. And in fact, that's the commercial which is the only one, or one of the very few from India, which was nominated at the Cannes Lions
Oh,
Advertising
wow.
Festival. So, which was the
That's
Puma
amazing.
campaign with Sweet Gully. So, it had Divine the rapper, the one on
Okay.
whom Gully Boy the movie is made. So that
Yeah.
was
Oh,
basically
wow.
launching him. So then after that, I did ads for Nykaa, Sabyasachi collection for Asian Paints, and then things
Yeah.
started rolling from one thing to
Wow.
another. And then Miss India happened, Fashion Weeks happened. So it
Wow.
just you do one. The thing is that it's very important to be passionate about what you do and give it
Yes.
your all. Especially for the
Great.
students here who are watching, more than just your pure talent, because there are so many talented people. You're in a class of students and you keep
Yeah.
comparing yourself to each other and feeling that, this one's better, or, am I good enough, or is that one better? The
Yeah.
importance is no one will remember you just on the basis of your talent, because there are a lot of talented people. What they will remember you by is how pleasant you were to work with and how
True.
good you were at your work. So, more
Yeah.
than just the planning, the execution is also equally important. And then,
Great.
then things started rolling, and
I
here we
know,
are
yeah,
today.
that's interesting. So, Bharat, when we talk about fashion styling, a lot of
Right,
kids are so confused, what exactly, because when fashion styling we speak, only the celebrity
right,
stylists are limelighted, on the social media and
right,
everywhere.
right,
So the students think fashion styling is just about styling a celebrity. So can you tell us,
right.
like, what exactly fashion styling is?
So basically, the thing is that fashion styling is something that's evolved as a full-time profession in our country much later than the West. Today, it is a full-fledged profession where, on sets, even in movies, you'd have someone called a dress dada back in the day who would get these
Yeah,
trunks of clothes, and, you just sort of mix those around and reuse those. And, it was more with that. When stylists came in, it sort of brought that structure. Now, what a designer does is the designer is the creator. The designer
yeah,
makes a garment all the way from the sketching board, from the mood board bait to the the fabrics, the designing.
yeah,
They do
sourcing, yeah,
they so yeah. So for a designer, it is more from a technical standpoint of creating a garment and bringing an
yeah,
idea and a vision to life. What a
right,
stylist does is completes the package and takes that vision to a more human level, in terms of,
yeah,
if you have a garment, then
right,
deciding who it works for, what is your target audience. So, you represent
yeah,
the model in that same sort of a way. What sort of accessories need to go with it? Does it need a handbag? Does it need earrings? Do you need a watch? Do you need a ring? What sort of
yeah,
footwear? So basically, hair, makeup, all of it, putting the look together.
yeah,
Now, you know how Megha, you rightly said that
yeah,
styling, we're fortunately, unfortunately, a Bollywood obsessed country. So,
yeah,
everything, the be all and end all of everything for us sort of ends up becoming Bollywood.
right,
So people sort of get to see that more. But
right,
what students need to understand is that even within styling, there are
yeah,
various verticals where you can take it up professionally. You don't have to sort of only look at celebrity styling, which is great because you're
right,
doing their red carpet appearances, you're doing their movie promotions, their airport look. So, just basically
yeah,
dressing them up appropriately every time they step out of their house, no matter what they step out for. Whether it's, today
right.
it's permeated into even going to the gym for them.
Gym, I know. The airport looks, I
So,
think they
yeah,
will have a change
yeah,
now.
correct.
Yeah,
So exactly. So in the current time, so so basically the different verticals are, one is editorial styling, where you style. You basically work with a magazine and you style for
Bharat, you
magazine
were not clear.
editorials.
Can you repeat it? Actually, you were not
Can you
clear
hear?
in between.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Okay, so there are
yes. You
various
said editorials.
verticals that,
Yeah,
yeah, so there are various verticals that you can work in as a stylist. So the first one is basically editorials, where you work with a
yeah,
magazine. So, from their cover to their inside spread, or, they pick different themes for the
yeah,
issue for that one particular month, and the stylists work on putting that together. So that is
right.
basically editorial. The second is shows, where, you style fashion shows, where you
Yeah,
either work one on one with the designer, And then, at the fashion show, the stylist basically decides which model wears which outfit, figuring
Right.
out the fittings, the drapes, ideating on different ways you can drape a dupatta, the
Right.
accessories, the footwear, liaising with a hair makeup artist, so completing that look. Then there's
Yeah.
commercial styling where you do
Okay.
style for TVCs. You get a story, and basis that story, you sort of work on a mood board. There you work with art directors, DOP, director, brand, ad agency, production house. So the entire
Yeah.
gambit. Similarly, of print
Wow.
styling, where you style campaigns for products like different products, grooming
Yeah.
products, beauty products, consumer products. So all
Yeah.
these hoardings basically that you see. Then you have movie styling. You have
Yeah.
so by movies I mean television serials and web series
Yeah.
and movies.
Yeah.
So there
Yeah.
is a whole lot of things that you can do. You can do all. You can do two
Right.
of the six, seven. You can do one. But the
Right.
avenues are a lot. Sometimes you just keep knocking on that one door of trying to work with a celebrity without
Yeah.
realizing that, if your passion is fashion, then there are a lot more avenues to be a part of the industry.
Right. As like, we always say, even the personal styling, the wardrobe styling, like,
Yes,
having
yes, of
personal
course.
clients, even that is like
Right.
apart from the celebrities, the students can
Right.
start off
Yes.
with that also initially.
Yeah. And we're
Yeah.
lucky we're in a country like India that obviously right now I'm not considering this
Yeah,
period that
this
we're
phase.
going through, but we're in a country where weddings are bigger than films. So,
Yeah,
there are so
true.
many people today looking for stylists to do their wedding trousseau and, family wardrobing and stuff like that.
Right.
From personal styling to wedding styling, even that's a very, very big avenue.
Right. So, one more question which we always get from the students is what's the exact difference, when we talk about a celebrity styling and the commercial
Right.
styling?
So, when you do celebrity styling, you're working with a person, you're working with the image of a person.
Yeah.
You need to really understand the basic aesthetic of the celebrity that you're working with.
Yeah.
Then marry that with the event or the occasion that that person is getting ready for. And
Yeah.
then finding relevant designers who do those looks, curating those looks, getting accessories, making them dress up,
Right.
making sure they get a great picture, making sure it's
Yeah.
posted on social media, and all the returns are done on time. So that's basically like in like a nutshell what celebrity styling sort of consists of. When you do
Okay.
commercial styling, you're not working with a person, you're working
Yeah.
with a story. So you'll
Right.
probably initially meet with the brand. Or the advertising agency and the production house, and you will get to know what the story is. So I'll give you like a little example. I did this
Yeah.
one ad for DHL.
Okay.
So the product is a courier service. So
Yeah.
it's a kid's birthday. Father is on a trip abroad because of his work project, and
Okay.
he's at home. He's upset because he's only with his mother. He's missing his father. So the
Yeah.
father goes to this, and the son loves football. So the father
Okay.
goes to like this football match and fights through the crowd and gets a personalized autographed shoe, which DHL couriers to India within 24 hours,
Wow.
and he gets a surprise. So now the thing
Okay.
is, now you get a story. Now in the story you get characters. You have the son, you have the
Yeah.
mother, you have the
Yeah.
father, you have the
Yeah.
father in two different looks, one when he goes for the match and one when he's at home thinking about his son. Then you
Right.
get the DHL courier service man who comes in. Now,
Yeah.
when the father meets the football person, then you need to style all the
All
crowd
the
that is there
people.
too.
Yeah.
And
Right.
now you need to understand which country are they in. So in that
Yeah.
country, what are the current trends? So get the crowd ready so it correctly represents which country they're in. Then when it's the
Right.
son's actual birthday, then all the friends are around. So girls,
Wow.
boys, their parents. So
Yeah.
then you work on a story. So creatively, this is also very satisfying because
Right.
you think different things, you imagine it, you put it on a mood board, then you
Yeah.
source for those looks, and then you see the ad come alive, and then when it releases, it's a good feeling as well.
Right, right. Wow. So that's interesting. So basically, if you see, commercial styling is the first step, which the students should actually opt for instead of directly jumping into celebrity styling, right?
Yeah, I would agree to that but also the thing is that a lot of times people have different aesthetics.
Yeah.
Your vision is different. Sometimes there are people who are better at working with an individual, and
Individual.
it's
Yeah.
almost
Okay.
like a image consulting stylist. And some
Right.
people can sort of work with the storyline and a mood board better, so that
Right.
works for them. Certain times, a lot of design students who
Yeah.
may not be great at sketching, but are
Yeah.
great at conceptualizing. So for them, even editorials work great because,
Right.
in magazines, you get a lot of creative leverage of putting things together. So,
Yeah.
because, with the celebrity needs to be at the same wavelength as you and vice
Yeah.
versa. With commercial
True.
styling, you need to be a part of the story. So you have your
Story.
hands are
Yeah.
tied there. With editorial, you have a far freer hand in that sort of a sense to
Yes,
knock
it's
on
like
your creative
creating
door.
a different, unique art.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Great. So, like while we are talking, there are a lot of questions which are popping. So I thought,
right.
in the flow, we'll just take it.
Sure,
So
sure.
there's one question which says, can you tell us a little more about wedding styling?
So, Shreya Torne has asked this question.
Yeah,
So
sure.
yeah, so Shreya, basically in wedding styling, what happens is that there are a lot of, with so many designers who do wedding wear, who do couture, or who do luxury pret as well. A lot of brides and families get confused of what is the right thing to wear. Also,
Yeah.
sometimes they don't understand the trends, the season, the weather. Today, when so many destination weddings are there, they don't want to carry something which is very heavy. A stylist sort of comes in handy there, where you get like an overall, an idea of what their spending power is, how many functions do they have, and
Right.
then sort of create like a lookbook from them that, these are the options that you can do. You contact different designers, you source
Right.
different lookbooks, you pick out different styles, and then you discuss with the family. Then
Yeah.
another aspect of wedding styling is that, the groom and the bride, what elements can be matching so the pictures come well.
Yeah.
The parents, the siblings,
Yeah.
now I know a lot of Indian brides who do the concept of bridesmaids as well. So
Yeah.
not because it's a Western concept, but even in Mehndi and Sangeets, a lot of Indian brides have started doing it. So
Yeah.
a color synchrony there as well. There's a lot
Yeah.
that you can do with wedding styling.
Great. So, Bharat, one more question, which we always have is what exactly is sourcing and how to source, when you are a
Okay.
fashion stylist?
Yeah, this is the toughest part.
Toughest.
Like
Yeah.
uh, with a designer, you have your outfits. You sell
Yeah.
what you have created. When you're a
Yes.
hair and makeup artist, it's you and your kit. Something goes wrong on the set, you wipe it off and you redo it. A
Yes.
blow dry goes wrong and they want straight hair, you just pat the hair. It's a difficult job, but
Yes.
it's all in your hands. As a
Right.
stylist, there is always, always, always a third, fourth, fifth party involved. You will have a
Yes.
designer, you will have an accessory designer, you will have a footwear designer, and
Yeah.
they will want the pictures, they will want
Yeah.
the clothes to come back in perfect condition. So,
Yeah.
sourcing basically is that when you are styling someone, you
Hmm.
obviously are not always buying those outfits. You are
Right.
contacting that designers on sort of like a collaborative basis where
Yeah.
the celebrity or the person will wear the outfit.
Yeah.
They will get a picture click, they will post it on social media, tag it, and you will share
Yeah.
the pictures with the designer. So it's sort of like a marketing strategy for the
Right.
designer because it reaches a completely different fan base. It's direct
Yeah.
marketing in a sense.
Yeah.
And so basically, when you take these outfits from the designer and your
Hmm.
celebrity wears it and you return them, this process is called sourcing.
Sourcing.
And basically, or you can even source fabric. When you're doing a photo shoot for a designer, and you've seen their collection, but you in the backdrop or attached to the veil, you want a long trail of cloth or fabric or whatever.
Yeah.
You source for fabric. So sourcing does not necessarily always mean free. It's
Clothes. Yeah.
basically getting the outfit or what you
Yeah.
need for a particular purpose.
Okay. Great. So there's one more question saying what is expected from an assistant stylist and from the portfolio?
So, from a very good question. From
Yeah.
obviously each stylist has has a very different way of working,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they have different requirements. I'm just going to be make it more personal.
Yeah.
For me, I just A is that the assistant needs to be very interested.
Right.
I'm going to sound so wrong when I say this, but the new millennial culture is that you guys are very used to stuff coming to you easy because
Easy.
everything's on
True.
social media and like
Yeah.
everything's easily accessible. So that little extra effort, we as stylists literally have to beg our assistants to do at times. I've been very lucky with the ones that
Yeah.
I've got up until now. Like they have been truly professional. But
Okay.
is you need to be very aware and keen to learn. You
Hmm.
need to be very hardworking, and basically you have when a style, as stylists, our job is to acquire clients also, and
Yeah,
sort of
yeah,
we're doing client servicing, we're doing business development as well. There are
right.
little things in terms of returning outfits, making sure pictures go. This awareness needs to be there. So you need to be a constant reminder to your head
Yeah,
stylist. And the second thing is that you will also need to sort of take that extra step, contact new
yeah,
designers, find out new designers, find out new
right.
trends, keep reporting back to your head designer that, this one's come, this one's done this one's interesting, why don't we look
Yeah,
at this? This shows your interest. When you show your interest, I will show more interest in you. So I think
true.
this is the basic expectation, and to be very good at what you do. And for me,
Yeah,
I think truth works more than anything else. You can, everyone's allowed to make mistakes. We're human.
yeah,
We all make mistakes. We all forget.
yeah,
That's completely human, but
yeah,
don't hide it. Just be honest about it. And,
yeah.
we all grow together. So that's about it.
Right. Wow. And the portfolio, like from the portfolio. Yeah.
So basically, the thing is that I personally don't always look at a portfolio. In
Yeah.
fact, my assistant stylist currently did not even have a fashion background per se, but
Okay.
he had a very keen interest in fashion. He knew stuff that people were doing, and he had a
Right.
very keen interest to learn. So for the first couple of shoots, I just got him with me just to see how proactive and how interested he is. And then
Yeah.
for me, then I became his teacher, because for me it became like an on, because he was genuinely interested. He didn't have the avenues to sort of get into the profession at that time. So I may not always look at your book, but
Portfolio.
in
Yeah.
terms of your book, have certain test shoots, have certain concept based shoots that you've done. Be aware, because a lot of stylists get into stuff which is too over the top in terms of
True.
showing your skill set. The market trend currently is very raw, very clean, very minimalistic.
Yeah.
So show multiple aspects of your style ability. When it's
Yeah.
just close-ups, when it's in the nature, when it's in a studio. So that basically gives the head stylist an understanding of your aesthetic as well.
Okay, interesting. So, Bharat, even when we talk about styling, there's one more thing which always pops up in the head of every person that, see, we spoke about how fashion designing and styling is different,
Right.
but what are the small, minute things which really make it very different? Because the students think that, to become a designer, you don't have to be
Right.
a stylist, or to be a stylist, you don't have to be a designer. So, can you
Right.
clear that concept?
So, for
Yeah,
uh, a designer can always be a stylist.
yeah,
That is one thing that I will always say, because a designer designs, they know the technicality of it, but they
yeah.
may also have a great aesthetic to present the look as well. So,
Yeah,
but a stylist may not necessarily have the ability to be a designer, because they may or may not have ever gone through the technical education of sketching and cutting
right.
fabric and sourcing fabric and creating outfits on the bust of a mannequin. So
Yeah,
that's primary. So
yeah,
if you're a designer, it opens up that gate also for you.
yeah,
The second thing is that sometimes a designer focuses on the outfit. Their
yeah.
focus is on the creation of the outfit, and they don't get a third person perspective of what they're creating. This
Right.
aesthetic comes more naturally to a stylist. And because
Yeah,
I've used the word, I'm going to say it again, that a stylist has a more well-rounded or a more holistic aesthetic in
yeah,
terms of understanding body types, in terms of understanding trends, in terms of understanding the overall look from accessories, footwear. I've said
yeah,
this repeatedly. So
yeah,
to give that vision a zoomed out view.
yeah,
So like for, give you like an example, for a designer designs
yeah.
for a store,
Oops, I'm
and
sorry,
for
something
that's
went
all right.
wrong here.
Yeah, a
Okay.
designer designs in the store,
Yeah,
and a stylist puts that outfit outside of the store in real life.
right.
So, a stylist basically tells the public that this is what the
Yeah,
outfit will look like if you buy it, and this is how great you can look.
right. Wow. So, Bharat, even when we talk about fashion styling, what are the main areas of fashion styling? It's learning the body types first. Because, see, when
Right,
we are fashion designers, nobody teaches us the body types, only the basics are
right,
told. But, in
correct.
fashion styling, we really learn the depth of body, shapes, and also what are the different other topics which are important, for fashion stylists?
So, I'll tell you what, when I style,
Yeah.
basically, the idea of skin color and different types of body,
Yeah.
these are very, shallow concepts. They
Yeah.
don't necessarily always, there is no right and wrong. The basis is comfort and what someone looks good in on a personal level.
Yeah.
In terms of styling, what you need to understand is you need to know fabrics, you need to know
Yeah.
textures, you need to know complementary and contrasting colors. Because
Yeah.
when you're styling and you want to double drape a dupatta, you want to add a fabric or you want to add something different, you need to understand
Yeah.
that. You need to have a basic knowledge of jewelry as well. The different
Okay.
types of gems, different types of stones, different types of
Yeah.
real jewelry, fashion jewelry, where it's available, who does
Yeah.
what type of jewelry. You need to know the current trends of different designers and silhouettes and colors and fabrics. So
Right.
when you're styling maybe a portfolio, or you're working with a designer for their lookbook. If
Yeah.
you know what the current trends are internationally, you can incorporate that in the drapes when you're doing it closer home as well. So
Okay.
like it's the whole concept of being local, like being locally global in that
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Also, what is important is to sort of have a constant yearning towards evolving your own style aesthetic.
Style.
Sometimes
Right.
what happens is that as a stylist, certain things work for you and people compliment it, and
Yeah.
you sort of assume that, okay, this is my niche, this is what I do, and before
Yeah.
you know it, styling may be eternal. Like, Yves Saint Laurent said that, fashion fades and
Yeah.
style is eternal.
Style
Your
is
style
eternal.
may be,
Yeah.
yeah, your style may be eternal, but fashion is going to change 6 months later. Your style will also,
Right.
your aesthetic may be constant, but you will also have to replenish, renew, and sort of redo your aesthetic and sort of evolve with it. So it's always nice to keep
Yeah.
growing and learning and, developing yourself as a stylist as well.
Okay. So there is one more question. Um, okay, I think it's the same question popping up again. Yeah. So can you suggest some good courses to learn styling professionally? You can
You'll have to
mention
wait
our
for a few,
course.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I didn't know if we could mention it right away, but
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
okay. So just we've been discussing this
Yeah.
for a few days, and very soon we're coming up with a course at INSD, and
Yeah.
with the whole lockdown, we don't want to stop your learning process and your learning curve. So
Yeah.
for everyone who's watching, we're sort of conceptualizing on a styling course at INSD, and I'm very happy that I'm going to be a part of it as well. And we're going to teach you everything that we're talking about and much, much, much more in
Much
that
more.
course. So
Yeah.
stay tuned on both our profiles and handles to sort of get an insight into what the course entails.
Great. So there's one more question from Pratiksha. She says, in a glamour world, stylist. Okay, are the stylists more preferred or the designers? That's,
So,
yeah.
the it brings me back to the same thing. So many other stylists are gonna
Yeah.
kill me after this chat, but we are only as good as what the designers make. Because if the
Yeah.
designers stop making clothes, what are we gonna source? So the
True.
designer, the stylist will
Yeah.
never, in that sense, supersede a designer. We always
Yeah.
source from designers. It's just our awareness of which designer does what and sort of presenting that in the best way on the
Right.
celebrity. But both are
Yeah.
equally important. Today a
Yeah.
Bollywood celebrity or any celebrity for that sense may not have the time to call 10,000 different designers and get those outfits and all of that stuff. And they do, some of them do 2 to 3 events in a day. So how to
Yeah.
keep that, like I'll give you an example. Today,
Yeah.
when you scroll down Instagram, don't
Yeah.
constantly keep, you don't have that patience of remembering pictures, and things
Right.
change almost every second.
Every
Um,
second. Yeah.
when you look at Rekha ji with her,
Yeah.
with her South saris and with her red lips,
Yeah.
iconic. You remember that. When you
Yes.
see Shah Rukh Khan with his center parting hair, it's always been that.
Yeah.
When you see Salman Khan's trademark jeans and bare chest, these are all very
Yeah.
iconic looks from the 90s or the or 70s, 80s, 90s, which people will remember forever because you were getting a newspaper once a day. You were getting a magazine
Yeah.
once a month. So it was
Right.
easier to do that. But
Yeah.
for a person like Deepika today, when you see someone who has a center parting, slightly gel back hair or
Yeah.
has smoky eyes, you immediately say that, oh, you're trying to do a Deepika look. So, or
Yeah.
if you see
Yeah.
another celebrity who does smoky eyes and gel back hair, your
Yeah.
immediate reaction is, oh, she's trying to copy Deepika. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's very important to create a niche for yourself as a stylist also. When you're
Okay.
working with a celebrity, you have 10 billion different options to choose from. You
Right.
can just keep
Right.
on making them wear something different every day. But then how
Yeah.
does anyone remember them by anything? Then they're a new
Yeah.
person every day. But
True.
something needs to resonate with their
Bharat, we can't hear you.
element
Actually,
needs to sorry
you were
I
stuck. Can
it
you?
got
Yeah.
hung. Yeah. So and
Yeah.
some element needs to be slightly more constant, so
Yeah.
people remember you by that as well.
Yeah. Okay. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn off the comments for a bit because your face is like
Okay,
totally getting.
covered.
So yeah. So so there are questions in the question section which I'm opening and I'm going to. So like the people who have joined in late,
Yeah.
they really want to know what is your journey as a celebrity stylist.
My journey as a celebrity stylist. So
Yeah.
I was discussing this with you before. My journey with celebrities
Yeah.
actually started because I did celebrity management for about 8 years. I was handling a choreographer. I was working with Shamak Davar for about
Yeah.
8 years, where we did IFA Awards, Filmfare Awards, Zee Cine Awards. At that time,
Yeah.
Shamak had done Rab Ne Bana Di Jodi, Jagga Jasoos. So I had
Yeah.
done that entire bit of celebrity management. When I got into styling,
Yeah.
I very consciously wanted to do a movement from entertainment into fashion. Therefore, my
Okay.
focus was always either fashion shows or fashion weeks or
Yeah.
commercials. So, which is
Yeah.
television commercials, print campaigns, digital ads, designer lookbooks. It was always that. I made a
Yeah.
conscious move from entertainment into fashion. Um, I was growing older. I may not look it for whoever's
Yeah.
watching. I was growing older. I wanted a lot of time for myself also. When you're
Right.
working with a celebrity, you're shadowing them. You're sort of
Right.
leading your life along with them. They have a shoot, you're
Yeah.
at that shoot. They have to travel for an event, you're traveling for an event. It's a
Right.
constant sort of a thing which gives you a great rush. You get to
Yeah.
travel, you get to do events. But I had already done all of that as a celebrity stylist.
Yeah.
So, as a celebrity
PR.
manager.
Yeah,
So
manager. Yeah.
therefore, when I got into styling, I like this. So that's why even when I've styled celebrities, whether of course Shamak I've styled for events and all because he's like a
Yeah.
friend, but whether it's Tapsi or Nora
Yeah.
Fatehi
Yeah.
or Varina or there are so many. Just go to my profile. I
Yeah.
can't even remember.
Yeah.
There's so many.
We saw that. Yeah.
Most of them I have either styled for their commercials, for their
Yeah.
music videos, for their when they were showstoppers,
Yeah.
or for a very purposeful folio, or if they have a movie releasing, or they
Yeah.
have to communicate something to the media. I've done
Yeah.
those sort of shoots. I haven't really done too many just basic event appearances
Yeah. Yeah.
for celebrities.
Yeah. But we had saw like seen your look. I don't know. It was a Gavin gown which you had given to. I cannot recall the celebrity's name, but that was a look which really went viral on social media. You
Mandana
know?
Karimi.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
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 So I had done this. Basically, we had it was for a Miss India event. It was in
Okay.
Goa, and the theme was Casino Royale. So it was
Okay.
supposed to be very hot, and plus because it was in Goa, we wanted to make it slightly sexy as well. And
Yeah.
I was going, and Gavin's a very, very dear friend.
Yeah.
So I had seen this piece at Gavin's store, and I spoke
Okay.
to Mandana, and she said, "Okay, let's try it." And I took, and she wore it, and she fell in love with it. And
Yeah.
then, so basically, Mandana at that time had very short hair. She
Yeah.
almost had like a pixie. She just used to gel her hair back, and it was
Yeah.
as long as mine is right now.
Yeah.
So then she said that, Bharat, I trusted you with a gown. You have to trust me with something. I'm not going to tell you what it is. And
Okay.
I was traveling one day later because I had another Miss India shoot in Bombay on that day. So I was like, oh my God, I'm
Okay.
so scared. So she's like, you have to trust me. So I said, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I saw someone said that, listen, did you style Mandana? So I was like, yeah. And they said
Yeah.
that video is going viral. She's posted on her Instagram. And I
Yeah.
was like, and when people say viral in today's day
Yeah.
and age, you don't know viral for good
But
or
for
viral
what
for
reason?
bad. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, what has happened? And then I
Yeah.
went on it, and the video that she had posted, she was just backing. The camera was at the back, and she was walking
Yeah.
towards her car. And suddenly I saw she had hair till her waist. So she had basically done
Okay.
extensions, which was
Wow.
super long. And
Yeah.
that really looked very nice with the look, which is a risk that she decided to take. And
Yeah.
I know if she had told me at that time, I would have fought and told her that let's not do this.
Yeah.
But I think it looked so good. And like, I think that video had like millions of views, and like my DMs had gone completely crazy. So
Wow.
yeah, that was a fun one.
That's interesting. So styling as a profession has always been interesting. There are so many stories which you're going to live every second of your
Yeah,
life.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, there's one more question, Bharat. Okay, this might be a little biased question for you, but who is your favorite fashion icon?
Who's my favorite fashion icon? It's very hard to say because there are a lot of people in the industry, in the fashion industry, who would be, but I would honestly have to say my mom and my sister,
Wow.
because I
Yeah.
don't. Oh God, it sounds like such a pageant answer, but I
Yes.
would. It's ideally because you only develop an aesthetic for fashion
Yeah.
when you're born in that environment.
True.
You can learn design, you can learn to sketch, you can learn to cut, you can learn to crop, but to have that aesthetic of putting things together,
Together. Yeah.
it needs to sort of be innately there. And when you see a lot of, see a lot of stylists have either like a mother who's very interested in clothes or has
Yeah.
a sibling who's very into that. So
Yes.
it's a very subconscious, unconscious sort of a journey that you
Yeah.
learn from them. So so many times, even till today, like I go to my mom and my sister, I send them a picture saying that did you like it, and they're like, and
Yeah.
they're very honest in terms of compliments and critique.
Wow.
So
That's
I think for me it would
interesting.
probably be them. Yeah.
Wow. So I'm going to take one more question. How can we make our styling work stand apart from other stylists? How do you recognize your styling? Odisha has asked this question.
So, Udisha, I'll tell you what, in today's
Yeah.
day and age, it's very difficult to ignore the work that anyone else is doing,
Yeah.
because, you follow so many people, you get inspired by them, but it's very important to sort of detach yourself from this comparison. When you get a project and when you get a celebrity, the only way you will stand out is when you do justice to either that celebrity or that project. If you try to put looks that one stylist is doing on another celebrity and try to ape that for the celebrity you've got, you will fail and your celebrity will fail. And then, the media is not nice. They will do comparisons and all
Yeah.
immediately. And before
Yeah.
you know it, the celebrity that you're styling will switch over to a different stylist. You
True.
need to have a very honest style opinion of your own, and
Yeah.
be true to what the celebrity also wants to do and wants to wear. I know a lot
Yeah.
of stylists who sort of impose things
Yeah.
that they like, and the celebrity just looks very conscious on the red carpet and
True.
uncomfortable. On the flip side, sometimes you have to, if you really believe in something, you have to
Yeah.
convince the celebrity also,
Celebrity. Yeah.
because you know that things will work. You have that aesthetic finer than theirs. This is your
Yeah.
profession. So don't compare yourself and don't try to copy or be like someone else. You will
Yeah.
automatically stand out. The moment, when I do Miss India, every year we get three winners. So for me, it's
Yeah.
so easy just to keep doing the same looks with the three winners every year. But
Yeah.
those three girls are not the same. One year, one will
True.
be from Haryana, the next year she'll be from Qatar, and the next year she'll be from Mysore. So,
Yeah.
if they come from such different backgrounds, you need to curate
Backgrounds.
looks also accordingly. So,
True.
if you aren't able to create a niche for yourself, that means that you're not being 100% honest to what you're doing.
Yeah. Wow. That's a nice answer. So there was one more interesting question, like from a photographer perspective, like a fashion
Right.
photographer might be that person is because it's studio something.
Okay.
So that person is asking like, what like is it important for a fashion photographer to understand fashion styling? You know?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, because when a photographer clicks pictures, they know according to the light how the fabric will photograph. Yes.
Right.
In terms of drape, in terms of they frame the picture. So a
Yeah.
fashion photographer must always have a sense in terms of art
Yeah.
direction, and in terms of styling.
Right.
Um, they don't necessarily need to get involved. I work with photographers who are very involved in the process of what is the model wearing, what are the fabrics you're using, how are you going to drape it, because they want to understand the framing. I also have worked with photographers who, when I ask
Yeah.
them that, do you want to see what they're wearing, they're like, no, just get them ready and bring them to set. So,
Yeah.
you work with all types. So it's a personal choice of involvement.
Okay. There's one more question saying, how do we sustain in the industry when there are so many stylists? You know?
There are so many of everything. There are so
Yeah.
many chefs. There are so many engineers. There are so many, doctors. So many
Construction
CAs.
builders and
Yeah.
yeah,
So there is so much of everything.
everything.
Uh, but you just have to find your way. Today, because of social media, it's easier to network.
Yeah.
It's easier to find sources of work. The
Yeah.
only thing is that when you get work, only when your work is very good will you again then get that recall value. So
Yeah.
and word spreads like fire. There's no other industry closer knit than fashion or
Yeah.
entertainment. The moment you do a good job, at least 100 other people will know it immediately. The moment you do a
Yeah.
bad job, at least 5,000 people will know it immediately.
Yes.
So,
True.
like it's a very close knit industry. You just need to be good at what you do and
Yeah.
network a lot.
Wow. So you know what everybody thinks, like, when I've been talking to so many people, they think fashion styling is like, just putting looks together. But
Right.
they don't understand the real idea behind it, that you have to
Yeah.
have the knowledge of the trends and the styles, the
Yeah.
colors and everything. So
Right.
like, there's a question coming up from that thing only that apart from WGSN, what are the other places where the students can learn the trends from?
When people ask me these questions, I'm sure this
Yeah.
person is between the age of 17 to 25. Therefore, I call them
Yeah.
millennials.
Yeah.
Because I style and groom models, also so many times I get a question saying, how do I become a model?
Yeah.
Or fashion students say, how do I learn this? You have Google. You have
Yeah.
it in front of you. You
True.
get 10,000 different links. Don't
Yeah.
get bored. Don't undermine what is right and what is wrong. You have
Yeah.
an intellectual level and an aesthetical capacity to gauge which article makes sense and which trends make sense and which don't. Go through them.
Right.
If you have a genuine interest in this field, you have to spend hours and hours learning and understanding
True.
and studying. So go
Yeah.
through 50, go through even 10 links in a
Yeah.
day, jot them
Yeah.
down, see what are
Yeah.
the common links, and then find out what are the aesthetics. So, this habit of being spoon fed, you will have to definitely stop.
Yeah, yeah. So there's a lot of hard work behind becoming a fashion stylist. It's just not a piece of cake, that you work on.
Right.
Yeah. So there's one more question. How will the pandemic welcome the new designers and stylists? Manvi Gupta has asked us this question.
So, Manvi, obviously, currently we're in testing times, and
Yeah.
we're in a period of uncertainty, and a lot of designers are also suffering as much as maybe stylists are to, or models are
Yeah.
to. Everyone linked to every industry is sort of on a hold right now, but
Yeah.
what you have to understand is that maybe you had a dream of or a plan of starting out something this year or at the end of next year.
Yeah.
Everything's just put on hold, but everything's not shut shop. So
Yeah.
you have to plan a little bit in the future. You have to prolong the process of starting something new, but that does not mean that it will never start.
Yeah.
uh, you're getting enough time on your hand to do something which is studying, which is learning trends,
Yeah.
sketching, coming up with, capsule collections, diffusion collection. Just work on
Yeah.
different things and keep a whole gambit of documents ready. So when the ball is rolling, then you have so much back end work ready that you just
Right.
have to start creating one after another. Use your time constructively, which does not
Yeah.
mean that you have to actively do something all the time.
Yeah.
Mentally, emotionally, physically, it's a very taxing time. You're stuck at home. Give
Yeah.
yourself space. There's a reason why you're getting this time to sort of understand yourself,
Yeah.
be with your family.
True.
Take this time off. To sort of figure things out for yourself, have a lot of internal dialogue and conversations, and once things start, they will. We always,
Yeah.
we're humans, we hope for the best, we hope for a
Yeah.
brighter future, so
Yeah.
we can only hope that things, when they start, they will start well. So
Yeah.
spend a lot of times doing step one, step two, step three right now, of just
Right.
planning and planning.
Yeah, because I think, after like after this situation gets back to a little normal, I think
Yeah.
fashion industry will be the first industry to, evolve immediately because people have been stuck at home, sitting at home, not wearing anything, have not shopped, and they've
Right.
saved also.
Yeah,
because of the
correct. So
things.
again, like a
Yeah,
very personal experience, because the thing is that some designers feel that people may not really want to spend on clothes immediately. But
yeah,
the good part is that people love clothes. So even if
yeah,
they don't do
yeah.
it immediately, eventually they will.
Yes,
So don't worry. Like all industry, fashion will also flourish and get back
great.
to normal.
So there's one more question. Sir, okay. No, no, not this. Can you post the Mandana Karimi look? I think it's there on your.
It's on my
Uh,
Instagram, but after this live chat,
it's
I'll
a,
post it on my
yeah. Please,
story as
please
well.
post
So
it on your
yeah,
story so the
so
kids
you
will
can
get
see
to
it.
see.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And there's one more question. Okay, not a question, just a genuine thank you we are getting.
How sweet.
Yeah. Apart from I don't think so. Guys, if you all have any more questions, please let us know. Or else we are anyways continuing the chat. But please type in your questions because a lot of you all have typed questions again and again, which are repetitive, and I cannot answer the same things again. So yeah. So Bharat, again, one more thing, what is the trend as of now when we talk about fashion and styling these days? What is the trend which is really going on?
The trend currently is to be in your PJs and a loose t-shirt and be stuck at home. So
Yeah,
see, in terms of trends which were meant to come up,
yeah,
were big collars were going to be very big in the upcoming
yes,
season. So for men and for women,
yeah,
you have those jersey shirts
yeah,
which have those big collars. For women
right.
also, collars up, size-wide big collars. Everything was very
Outrageous
upper,
kind.
yeah, and from your shoulder to your collarbone, this area was the focus. Accented sleeves,
Yeah,
shoulder pads, ruffled
yeah,
shoulders, big collars. This was going to be the trend predicted.
yeah,
In terms of heels, a lot of strappy heels were going to come back into fashion,
yeah,
because boyfriend jeans came in for girls. So a lot of heels that actually get tied up over the jeans or over your pants and go
yeah,
maybe all the way up to your calves. In terms of colors, because the summer season was coming, back to pastels, back to lighter shades, back to
yeah,
more, airy fabrics of cottons
yeah.
and linens. So, that these were the predictive trends for the season before we got
Okay.
to know that we're going to be stuck in just our home clothes.
Home clothes and pajamas, yeah.
Yeah,
So, what are your views about the mask, which is going to be
right,
added element to our regular
right,
clothing? Yeah.
right.
So, should it have a designer angle, or it should just stick to the basics of the necessity?
So, currently in terms of first is usability. When
Yeah.
you're getting masks and so many people are venturing into making these masks and all that stuff, you need to
Yeah.
understand that the fit needs to be good and, your nose, mouth, and chin need to be covered. And,
Yeah.
the gap, there mustn't be any gaps. So this is the first priority.
Yeah.
It's almost, so many people say it's like lingerie for the face. So
Yeah.
it's the exact same thing.
True.
The fit needs to be great. Think of it like your inner or intimate wear.
Yeah.
Then obviously you can add like a little bit of design element and all. I don't like the fact when people are already basing profits and sort
Yeah.
of making it like a business, because
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
not tasteful.
True.
But if I know so many designers who are just giving away free masks, or
Yeah.
making it like a sustainable process of using leftover fabric from their collection and converting those into masks and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So those are nice things to do. I know designers who've done hundreds and hundreds of masks and sent them to migrant workers who were traveling back to their hometowns. So
Yeah.
yes, these are important, but like for regular people, just first is always durability and
Yeah.
usability, and second is the design element.
True. Great. So, Bharat, anything more you would like to add from your side, which the students have to understand when we talk about fashion styling?
Guys, firstly, thank you for joining us during our live
Yeah.
session.
Yeah.
And when you decide to do something which is unconventional, when
Yeah.
you decide to do something which is more an internal passion than an external force, you have to find that drive within yourself, and
Yeah.
you will have to work doubly hard. because not only are you fulfilling your dream, you're also at the same time justifying it to your family as well. So,
Yeah.
you have to sort of fight multiple battles. But remember that the beauty about being in this profession is that you're going to be working with everyone who's following their passion. When you're
Yeah.
on set, from the DOP, cinematographer, models, designers, actors, everyone is someone who was never told to do this. They
Yeah.
all told their parents that this is what we want to do and we want to make our dreams come true. So
Yeah.
respect that. Respect people who have a dream. Your profession may be hard because you're doing it, but every profession within the industry is equally hard. Respect that, and never shy away from working hard. Be a learner always. The moment you believe that you've achieved everything, and that you know it all,
Yeah.
that's when you'll either become stagnant, or you will start going down. Only when you constantly evolve and learn will you keep
Yeah.
growing. And seek help. Don't be shy. You have enough
Yeah.
platforms. You have enough mentors across the world who will
Yeah.
be ready to reach out to help you, but always speak, communicate, communicate.
Great. So one last question. When we talk about styling, it's always about women, women, women. So can you just put a little, give a little tips to the men around, who are there in the live
Right.
with us, to how to dress a little different than the regular looks which they carry and look a little more presentable.
Correct. So, very, very relevant question to me, because
Yeah.
in fact, when I got into pageant styling, I was first approached for men pageants. So, therefore,
Okay.
all the way from Altamash to Prathamesh to Rohit Khandelwal to Vishnu, all the Mr. Indias who've gone for world and supranational, I've been styling. So, you can see my profile to really understand how men can
Yeah.
dress differently. There is so much that you can do. The only thing is that women have more silhouettes that they
Yeah.
can work with. Our society has opened up a lot in terms of prints for men. You can work
Right.
with prints. You can work with different fabrics. You can work with different colors. You can work with solids and prints, solids and solids, prints and prints.
Yeah.
Shirts, jackets, bomber jackets.
Yeah.
There is a lot that footwear, socks, just a chain. I know men who do earrings as well.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Color of the hair. There is a lot that you can do. You'll be surprised if you take a keen interest. And in fact, with men, it's even more interesting, because you need that one key element that changes the entire look. With
Look.
women, you
Yeah.
need 50 key elements to create a complete look. So,
True.
and men also take a lot of interest today. So we
Yeah.
have moved ahead in that sort of a way where men just don't wear a black suit and go for dinner parties. They
Right.
also, make an effort to, wear either cuffs or brooches or wooden bow ties, metallic bow ties. There's so
Yeah.
much that's happening now.
Wow. So the men also have a lot of opportunities
They
which they
do.
just have to explore and, try it out. Because everybody in
Yes.
India, we live in a judgmental world, I would say.
Right.
Because if somebody is trying to do something different, you're called
Yeah.
out, people
Right.
laugh at you. So I think
Right.
confidence is more important than the criticism, you know.
Correct. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
So great then. So Bharat, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank
Our
you. It was
students are
lovely chatting
definitely,
with
I
you.
had so many questions and so many people telling, please save the video. Yeah, it's directly going to go on our IGTV. So you all
Super.
will be able
Super.
to see it anytime you all want. And
Right.
yeah, there's just one last question,
Right.
which says, how can we, Samiksha Chopra,
Right.
she says, how can we learn exaggerated information on what courses we can do for more experiences?
We will be, like we discussed,
Yeah,
that's a good point to sort of finish this conversation.
yeah,
INSD is planning a very exhaustive course for fashion styling, which will include a lot of elements of learning styling, it as a profession, and the different modules and aspects that go into it. They will be posting it very soon. I'm glad that I'm going to be a part of that course as well.
yeah.
And that's something exciting that's coming up. So you can definitely find out about that course. Our Insta handles are flashing on the top left corner of your screen, so we'll be posting more
Yeah.
information on that.
Great. So thank you so much, Bharat. It
Thank
was really
you.
amazing chatting with you, and I'm sure the students have really got to learn few things. And we look forward. And guys, please, any questions you all have, don't hesitate to DM him. He's a very friendly guy. He'll always be ready to answer all your questions. And
Sure.
yeah, we look forward to keep
Thank you.
like,
Thank you so
yeah,
much.
get connected again. Thank you,
For
Bharat.
sure. Thank you. See
Yeah.
you.
See you. Bye.
Bye bye.